Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I wanted to show you the journals and planners that I am planning on using for 2019. So I don't know if you remember the beginning of this year when I showed my journals. I kind of wanted to simplify like how many journals I use and how many planners I use and just stick to specific systems. Well, this year I think I'm simplifying even more, and I think I'm only going to use these two here. So this is a planner and this is a journal. And the reason for that is, I don't know if anyone else is like me, but I tend to get overwhelmed with too many journals and too many planners, like too many systems. I'm the type of person who wants to try everything before. I just want to try everything. You know, I want to see if this what works and what doesn't. And for journaling, I'm still trying to find that really, that comfort spot with like what type of journal I like journaling in, what style and stuff like that. So I'm still really experimenting with the journaling, but with my planning, I think I don't want to say planner piece because I don't think planner piece exists, but I think I found my comfort in this Filofax. Um, this is actually my not robin's egg, my duck egg Filofax domino soft. I just did a little Seuss fish on it and covered it with this polka dot fabric, and I love it. And I did that because I'm going to pull out my pink one here. The little rivets here on this one were like the paint was coming off, and so I just decided to just cover the whole thing with this fabric, and it's nice and soft, and I like the polka dots, and it's really cute and it's different. So I'm not using the same two because I tend to switch out of this one and go into this one and then switch out of this one and go into this one because I love this style. Like, I didn't realize that I would love the domino so much, but I do, and I love this soft, I guess, faux leather material as opposed to the dominoes that come in the patent. I don't think I would really like the patent, but I love this. So yeah, so I found my comfort spot with this planner, so I think I'm going to stick with that. And I'll give you a peek on how I'm using this, but I know some of you have asked to see this one. This is this year's planner, and so not much has changed from this planner since I showed you my video on how I'm using my planner. So I still have this little pocket here with some photos and then this Filofax calendar. My dividers are still these that I made, and then I go into my monthly and I only use a monthly, so I only plan on a monthly calendar. And so January, I've been covering, some of them are covered here because these are old. Let me see if I can show you. These are old Color Crush Webster's Pages inserts from 2017, and all I did was cover all this, and so this becomes Monday and this becomes Sunday because the dates line up. So I covered some of these with some Cocoa Daisy printables. But yeah, so I would just do all of my planning on a monthly, and then after the monthly, I kind of did sort of like a commonplace book sort of thing. So this is when I was doing my desk, my redo, like my craft desk and everything. Just a bunch of notes and stuff go on, you know, lists, all sorts of things go after the month. And then you get the new month, and again, all of my planning went on to the monthlies, and then I would have random notes that I did throughout that month within that. And that's basically the whole planner. And for some reason, this worked out so well for me this year. Like, I kept with it all the way. And you know, I tried out bullet journaling, and my idea with bullet journaling was to mix planning and art journaling, and I don't know, something about that. I really liked drawing out all of my like monthly spreads and stuff like that. But I think because I was using this and because it was working so well for me, I decided just to stick with it for this year and not do the whole TN bullet journal that I was originally going to do. Because I don't know, there's something about the rings. I really like the rings. The only downside to, I guess, the personal size is the page size. Like, I think for me it's a little too small. I like a B6 size. That's what I was using for my bullet journal. I really like how much space that is. The thing about B6 is I know if I get a B6 ring planner, it's going to be bigger. Like the actual planner itself is going to be bigger. And I really like the B6 size. And I know my Stalgy, when I put it in a TN, the TN is bigger. That's why I made my TN a B6 Slim, because it's the same size as this, and I just love that size. And of course I have to compensate on the actual inserts, but these are a little bit wider than this, and I was going to try the B6 Slim, but I prefer rings. I like the rings better, and this was fine for me, even though there wasn't that much space. Maybe for journaling I would prefer a B6 Slim, but like I said, I'll show you what I'm using for my journal. So this is how this year went. This is when I started getting more decorative on my monthlies. And I started using my Planner Society kits. I no longer get the Planner Society kits. I unsubscribed a while ago because they just kind of pile up. Everything just kind of piles up. So I was using my Planner Society kits to decorate these, my monthlies. So again, just a bunch of notes. The July, I didn't put a cover on it. This is August. But that is how I used this planner, and that is how I'm going to be using my planner this upcoming year. Just the exact same way, just the monthly, and then all of my page inserts. I'm just removing addresses. And so that was November, because I have December in this one because we're currently in December. And then this was all my finance stuff, and then I have some receipts, and then this is where like notes and stuff were. So that is how this went, and that is how I'm going to be doing this New Year's planner. So this is how I have it currently. You might have seen this setup. I haven't changed anything besides putting this fabric cover on it, and it just kind of slips in, so it's kind of like a pocket. So I have all of my stickers, my functional stickers that I'm using. I took out that doily because it was bothering me. You saw me when I made these dividers, and then this is my info page, and then I have December in here, and that's how December looks, and then my notes for things, and then these. So I made these dividers just with my silhouette and some cream paper, and I'm using these Jane Davenport inserts because I'm trying to use up what I have and not buy anything new. I really like the Color Crush inserts. My only pet peeve about them is that when you go to buy the inserts, you have to get like the monthly and the weeklies together, because that's how they come in a pack. And I would only need the monthlies, so I just opted out of doing that and using my monthly that I have here from the Jane Davenport planner. The thing about this one is it has this little dashboard here, and then it goes straight into the this week. And so instead of like covering this up, I just kind of put the end part of those weeklies so that I can get the notes, and I might use this page for something. I thought about covering this stuff up and just using them as lists, but I'm not sure yet. I guess I'll figure that out once I start planning for January. I started filling in things here on my monthly, because I normally plan on a monthly. But yeah, so this has it's like a little dashboard. It says to do, goals, dreams, and wishes. I have not gotten down my intentions for the year yet. I always work through the Susanna Conway Unravel Your Year workbook, and I haven't actually sat down to work through that workbook yet. So I don't exactly know what my intentions are for this coming year, like goals and stuff like that. I don't really have an idea yet. But I'm thinking once I figure those out, I might break them down into months and then use this dashboard for that, for those intentions and the things that I want to get done, and just kind of break it down monthly. And so all of my months are set up that way. They're just all like they're legit all set up that way, and the dividers are plain. I might do a little bit of like scrappy stuff on the dividers when I go and set up each month. I haven't decided that yet either. And then this is my expenses, which are these sheets that I need more of. I might have to just make my own. So those are in here, and then again I have another pocket for receipts and stamps, and then this is my little notes section that I just have papers in at the moment. So this system works so well for me that I decided to keep it as is, and so this is my planner. This is what I'm going to be using next year. It worked so well. This is like the only planner this is the only planner that I actually kept through for an entire year. Like the system, like normally I kind of switch out things and go to different size planners and stuff like that, but I went the entire year using the same system. I mean, granted, I did use the bullet journal system in conjunction with this just to try it out, but this is what worked. And so I thought, you know, I was going to change it up and use a TN, and I'm just like, you know what, maybe to just if I want to simplify things, maybe stick to what actually works and only change it when it just doesn't work anymore. So that is my planner that I'm using this year. And so I want to get into the journal. So I've decided to start off with one journal. Like, I have intentions to do, I always have the intention to do, you know, oh, one journal per Get Messy season, or, you know, all this other things. Like last year, this year, the earlier this year, because we're not done with 2018 yet, I said, oh, I'm going to fill this book out, you know, with art journal spreads, and that'll be what I'm going to use for the year. I did use it, but I didn't use it all the time. I made other journals. So, you know, I always say things like that, but it's just in my nature to want to try all the things. So hopefully I can just stick with one. But this one actually has a purpose, this journal here. This is what I'm calling my unraveling journal. Again, it's very much inspired by Susanna Conway and her idea of unfolding and unraveling yourself and your life, and seeing yourself in different ways, and, you know, like stimulating that growth process in you. And so one of my intentions is to do some heartfelt journaling this year. Maybe not so much do journal pages to share, but just more of processing my thoughts and stuff like that. And so what I did was I made one of my junk journals, because I actually really liked using these for when I travel. Like, I don't know what it is. I just really like throwing stuff in here. And so I'm just like, you know what, maybe I can do keep a whole junk journal for this sort of unraveling journey that I want to go on. So I did make this one, and I think you kind of saw it before in a different video. And I used all my favorite things. I put these were all my planner dividers. I actually have the planner dividers in here that I'm going to use as tip-ins and stuff instead of just throwing them out. So I've been collecting like all different pieces of stuff that I kind of want to use in here. And this is the journal that I'm going to start off with. My plan is to work through some e-courses that I have, that they're all Susanna Conway e-courses that I have, that I either haven't gotten through yet, or that I have gone through but I haven't really finished. And so I'm including this in this video, even though it's not really like a working planner. It's a Marian Smith, and here I house all of my Susanna Conway e-courses, the workbooks that she gives us. So I have Unraveling, This is from her last unraveling session back in 2015. I really would love to go through this course again and do it all in here. So that I have unraveling there. I have photo meditations that I would also really love to go through and maybe include the photos in here. And then I have this one, it's called Exploring the Senses. And this is actually free. You can sign up to her newsletter, and I'll leave a link down below if you're interested in it. You can sign up to her newsletter, and you can download this from her inspiration library. You'll get a link to that library and the password. And it's kind of like, it's another one of those self-discovery sort of classes that have a lot of journaling prompts and photography prompts, because that's what she mostly focuses on, is photography. And yeah, so it's supposed to be a workbook in conjunction to her book, which I'm going to go get in a second. So this is Susanna's book. So I believe this workbook, this sort of mini e-course, was created in conjunction with her book, but you don't actually need to have read or have her book to actually go through this. And it's very similar to what's in her unraveling course, just in a different way. So if anyone is interested in checking this out, I will definitely leave a link down below to where you can sign up to her newsletter, and you can get this little ebook e-course thing. So that's what I have in here, and my goal is to work through these 3 courses over the year and do my journaling in here. And I know this is like, you know, it has 2 signatures in it, so I don't think it's gonna last me for the entire year. Normally a journal this size will, like if I do a trip and put tip-ins and inserts and also and pictures and all sorts of things in it, it lasts me for about a month and a half, right? I think because one insert usually lasts me for like a month. So yeah, about like a month and a half can fit into this one journal. But I know me, I start things and I never finish them. So I want to do that in here. And, you know, I kind of want to experiment in the whole junk journaling style as well. So I made it in a junk journal style, and kind of just gonna add my photos and my journaling in here, maybe do some junk journaling process videos, like journal with me's and stuff. So maybe not so much mixed media type stuff in here, so not so much art journaling, definitely more junk journaling and more introspective personal journaling. So I probably won't be sharing journaling, or I'll get really good at doing hidden journaling so I can share like the pages that I make. But that is sort of how I kind of want to take my journaling. I know I'm probably going to create like another journal if I want to do like art journaling, because art journaling is very different. Or I might just stick with my Stylgy notebook that I haven't really filled out and maybe do art journaling in there. Or like I showed you before, I still have my Secret Garden art journal that still has tons of pages left over, and I might do some art journaling in here. I haven't decided yet, but I know there's going to be an extra journal. It's just starting off, my intention is to just work in this one. And so this, you know, houses all of those e-courses, and that is what I'm going to use for that in conjunction with this. And then I'm going to pull out my Kiki K planner. If you caught one of my latest Insta stories, I showed you this planner, but I showed it to you stuffed. And I actually moved out all of the stuff from in here into my Carpe Diem. So I have the pink Reset Girl Carpe Diem, and all these inserts were in my Kiki K, and these are all of my Unravel Your Year Ahead workbooks. Again, these are free workbooks from Susanna Conway. If you sign up to her newsletter, you'll get the link to download this. It's the same place where you can find that that free e-course. So yeah, so I have every year from 2014 in here, and this is what I have to sit down and really fill out. She also gives you the find your word, so it's like a one little word thing. I have an idea of what my word is going to be, but I'm still going to work through that little mini workbook for that. What I did was, when I was doing those courses, I included them in the planner after the workbook, so that's what all this stuff is. But I think I'm gonna put it in the journal. And so I have, I showed a little flip through of this on Instagram, but I moved those guys out into that, so I'm going to archive what's in the Carpe Diem, and I've already made new dividers, and I printed out this year's workbook that of course I have not filled in yet, so I have to get to and fill in this. I also printed out the Find Your Word workbook, so I have to, once I fill this out, I have a better idea of what my intentions are for the year, and normally I always do a blog post, just kind of, talking about my intentions and writing them down and having them there written and like kind of like my plan of the year. Not that I always stick with it, because I don't, because I suck at it. But this year I really want to be more accountable with myself into getting certain things done. That's why I kind of wanted to simplify the journals and the planners that I'm using. So literally I'm only going to be using this journal and this planner. These two other things this will be filled out hopefully this year. If I don't get it all filled out this year, it'll span into next year, into January. But once I get this filled out, it goes, I process everything. I do a blog post where I have everything sort of summarized and all my intentions there. And then I'll write out my intentions here as well, because I want to have it in here. But then this goes into my shelf, and I don't look at it until the ending of the year, where I pull it out to print out the new workbook, and then I go over what I kind of wrote in the beginning of the year, and just to see like what I've accomplished, how I've grown, how my needs have changed, and stuff like that. So this is only going to be out for like maybe this month and into next, and then it's going to go into like the vault. So I just kind of wanted to show that. And then of course this isn't really any sort of functional working planner. It's just kind of like a binder that I have my e-courses in that I am going to go through. So that is basically what I'm going to be using this year. I also want to show you my December daily that I'm doing. So I only did one video on this. I've been actually working on it at night, and then if you see, my lighting keeps changing because it's like so dark. And it's like, not that it's dark, it's just cloudy. It's just really cloudy, and I hate it. I hate the winter because of this very reason, and that it's cold, and I just hate winter. But yeah, so this is my December daily. I'm actually starting to call it. It's being called my December daily 2018, but I kind of refer to it as a scrap therapy book, because it is a scrap therapy. It's becoming more scrap therapy than it is becoming December daily, but it is the one that I'm keeping for December. And I've been loving working in this. So I'm just going to show you like a quick flip of what I've done so far. But I really have enjoyed working in this book. And I've been putting my art journaling pages into it as well. My whole thing is I would love to find a way to combine scrapbooking and memory keeping and my art journaling. And so far this has been working really well to kind of combine the two, sort of like the mixed media art journal stuff and the scrappy stuff. So I'm not sure if I want to continue keeping a scrap therapy book for next year. Like, Seuss Fish is the mastermind of the scrap therapy system, and she keeps one book each month. So I don't know if I want to do that and have like a bunch of books at the end of the year, or if I just kind of want to keep one and just every so often do pages in it, because I'm still going to keep my 12 by 12 album. Like, the 12 by 12 album that I started at the beginning of this year is nowhere near filled. I work in that. I stopped doing memory keeping chronologically because it drove me insane. I work in it whenever I want to work in it. If I want to make a layout from a photo, I make a layout, I put it in there. If I want to do a pocket page spread, I go ahead and do a pocket page spread. So with whatever I'm feeling, I do, and it goes in there, and it goes in there in the order how I made them. But and nothing is chronological. The stories aren't chronological. The photos aren't chronological. It's just, what's chronological is when I've made them, basically. And so that binder, those binders are really big. It's nowhere near filled. Like it's not even a quarter filled. Like it's so empty. And so I know that binder is going to keep me for maybe the next 2-3 years, because I don't necessarily make a layout very often, and I don't do pocket pages like that very often. My whole thing is making books, mini books. I love mini books. I love making mini books, and travel journals and stuff like that. So that's how usually I do my memory keeping. But I do like scrapbooking, and I do like my scrappy products, and I occasionally want to make a pocket page or a layout and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what I'm also going to be keeping, is that album. Didn't show it because it's huge. But I haven't decided yet if I also want to do sort of like a little scrap therapy or like a mini binder like I did this year. I did that little scrap therapy mini binder, or use my Felicity Jane planners again for scrap therapy. I haven't decided that yet, but if that is the case, then I will do the whole scrapbooking and art journaling in that. But other than that, these are the journals that I'm planning, the journals and the planners that I'm planning to keep for this year. I hope this little peek at what I'm planning to use, how I'm planning to use it, was interesting and helpful. Again, I'll leave all the links to whatever I mentioned, mostly the Susanna Conway stuff, in the description box down below. So yeah, I'm planning to do a whole thing with this unraveling thing. I haven't kind of fine-tuned it. Again, I still have to go through that workbook and figure out what exactly I want to do next year, what intentions I want to set and stuff like that. But I am planning something around this whole idea of unraveling on my channel, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more and you haven't subscribed yet. And I will see you all next time. Bye.